Welcome to the Armstrong and Getty Show.
I do not approve. Socialist congressman? What he believes. We ought to get this guy on the air, actually. I think that would be very interesting.
Sure.
It may degenerate into a shouting match, but that sort of thing seems to be popular.
Why would it? You would argue with him?
Well, certainly. Well, I'll argue in the classical sense. I'm not going to shout, "You're an idiot." Well, I might. But I wouldn't go into it planning to. Argue in the classical sense. How can that be true, sir, given X, Y, and Z? That sort of argument.
Has anybody's mind ever changed by these sorts of arguments? I don't know if mine ever has been.
I think maybe the shading changes. It fills in cracks. It shifts a little bit. But no. Yes, clearly. My mind's been changed in the last 10 seconds.
I'm enjoying the argument going on in your own head.
You know whose mind it changes? 24-year-olds.
The youth of America. They're our future.
Don't stop using that voice. It's grating. Young adults who come out of college, all indoctrinated by their professors,
I'm not even sure I believe
the pie
that.
in the sky crap, and they hear it and click. Well, we get emails all the time from youngsters.
I'm not even sure
I listen to you guys, and I finally realized blah 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 blah.
I think we're all wired a certain way.
Yeah,
and we have life experiences, and we're just, I don't know.
Well, and the discussion is the life experience that wakes up. I mean, anybody who's young and not a liberal has no heart. Any man who's old and is not a conservative has no brain.
Right. And
to paraphrase Churchill.
And you come to conclusions and you seek out stuff that backs up what you think. And when you come across stuff you don't like, you turn it off. And when you come across something that backs you up, you stick with it.
You're not hearing me. You're not ignoring me. I may have to get into a shouting match. You are ignoring me, rather.
Gotcha.
All right. Again, arguing with myself. Sane people make a transition at some point in their life based often on an argument they hear, on a speech given, on a book read, on an article perused.
I just don't know if I believe that's true.
You don't think people tend to become more conservative as they get older?
Well, that I guarantee you. I just don't think it's because of arguments on TV or the radio.
What do you think it's because of?
Life experience.
Part of which is hearing arguments on the radio.
No, I don't think it's that life experience.
All right, well, we'll have to agree to disagree.
I think it's just butting up against, you're paying taxes, you see things happen. That sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I don't deny that that's a factor, but you've never read anything or that you found persuasive and a light bulb went off? Wow, that's probably true.
I don't think so.
Really? Wow.
Not in a significant way.
No?
No.
Thomas Sowell's Souls, what's it called? A clash of something or other.
A conflict of vision.
That's the one. No?
I think it confirmed something I probably already believed.
All right. Well, all you people who email us and say, listening to you guys really changed my mind, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Uncle Jack says it can't possibly be true.
I think you are wrong.
Stop listening.
You were headed that direction anyway.
Listen for the jokes about people's genitals and ignore the rest.
No, I'm all for that.
All right, fine. We'll have to agree to disagree. I think you're completely, tragically, historically wrong. Historically wrong. Your wrongness will change the course of history.
That was one of the things I wanted to ask Christopher Hitchens, who I unfortunately didn't get to interview like I was supposed to that night because he found out he was dying.
Oh, yes.
And he canceled.
Yeah.
Which was very selfish of him. Very selfish of him. To ruin something I'd been looking forward to for a long time just because he had cancer. I was going to ask him, do you think any of these speeches you give, you think it changes anybody's minds? I just don't know. He's so, a person so convinced that God has no impact on the world. Do you think that changes people's minds, or do you just get people who agree with you, love you, and I don't know. I'd been interested to hear what he has to say.
Or is it just a paying gig?
Yeah, exactly. Is it just a paying gig?
I don't know. Interesting question.
Either you're doing one of two. You're speaking to the choir and pissing off the people that hate you, which is all. There's money in that too.
Sure. 1-866-331-TALK. You certainly. Another opinion or two would be welcome. 1-866-331-8255. It's funny. You need to just punch it into your cell phone right now, even if you're driving. Keep half an eye on the road.
Drive with your knee.
Exactly. Louis from Placerville. Hey, Louis.
Hey, how you doing?
I like Louis as a name. It's classic. It's got a good feel to it, good American feel.
I have an acquaintance whose son is named Louis, and I thought that is a cool name.
That's a good name. Yeah, neglected these days.
And not many people have this name, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah. So what's up, Louis, my friend?
Oh, well, you guys were talking about how, like, young kids may or may not, like, change their minds on opinions due to, like, radio conversations and such.
Yeah.
Well, I was just talking, like, I was raised Catholic and very conservative, but through your guys' show, even Michael Savage's show, but also just conversations that I hear through either young kids or professors and such, like, my views are kind of, it's weird. It's like the gay marriage issue, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be really, really strong on that, but after hearing a lot of friends, making a lot of friends who are gay and such, I'm not as strongly against it anymore. However, when it comes to, like, the economics and such, like Social Security or just the fact that, you know, unemployment is up, just things that have to do,
Sure,
I guess.
your non-social issues.
Yeah, for some reason, like the social issues I've relaxed on because of conversations I've heard and things are going on.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other things, I'm, like, strongly conservative about, more so than I was.
No, you can't do that. I'm sorry. You've made a horrible mistake. You have to look at one of the two major parties and adopt their entire platform and go with that. You cannot, like...
Finally, something I can agree with.
You can't believe some of the things Democrats believe and some of the things Republicans do. You cannot do that. That's not allowed in our system.
Right.
You have to be all of one or the other.
And it's important that there can be only two parties.
Sure. And if you're, for instance, for gay marriage, then you cannot be a fiscal conservative. That's just not allowed.
Louis, we got a bunch of calls. We're going to move on, but thanks for the call very much. Say hello to Otto and Clem for me.
A couple other names you're trying to bring back?
Yeah, it's just a classic.
How do you spell Louis?
Louie.
Okay. See, I like Louis is cool, and I would like it if Sam's name was Louis, but I don't, not Otto or Clem.
Not Otto?
No.
I like Otto.
Well, Otto.
I've known one guy named Otto, and I liked him very much.
Of the two, if I had to, I'd go with Otto. Clem immediately would have to go with a nickname.
Yeah, because too much like inbred humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you.
You don't expect a Clem to be shod.
Well, you could explode that stereotype.
Right. Bring back
you
Clem.
and little Clem.
I'm going to class up Clem. That's my goal in life.
Clem would show up looking sharp, buttoned down, talking a good game. And
with a
people
violin under his arm.
Maybe
Your name is Clem?
Maybe I need to rethink the stereotypes, the really hateful stereotypes I've held in my heart. But you're not willing to do that. It's Dan in Sacto. Hey, Dan, go ahead. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Just along the lines of Louis' call, I used to just listen to the dribble, that's on TV about the Tea Party and how racist they were and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then listening to you guys, I realized that they just stand for the stuff that I want to, what reasonable people believe in.
Good. It's not a major philosophical shift, I have a feeling, but, I'm glad we could clarify that.
Yeah, well, I kind of came across something when I felt that, I wasn't a Democrat and not a Republican. I felt like I was an independent.
Yeah.
Well, the label of independent, I found, just really isolates you because, in essence, you are independent from everybody else.
Well,
but having something like the Tea Party gets you all together.
All right, Dan, thanks. Appreciate it. Michael Stipe of REM, who's... Oh, nice. Yeah. Well done. Michael Stipe of REM, who's a bit of a wackadoo politically, but a hell of a singer, once said, labels are for soup cans.
Sure.
And I think that applies here.
No, you got to be one or the other. You got to be all of it.
Whoops.
Got to be all one or the other. It's the way it works. Don't you watch TV?
Two choices. Make one.
So this apparently was popular when the Kingsmen did this song, right?
True enough. An American classic. Otto. Oh, baby. Have you heard from Clem?
You're listening to the Armstrong and Getty Show.